The rain came down in sheets that night, cold and merciless, like the world itself had turned against me. I stood on the front porch of the only home I'd ever known. 21 years old, soaked to the bone. My little pink suitcase, already ruined on the wet concrete. My teeth chattered so hard I could barely speak. "Mom. Dad. Please," I whispered, voice cracking. "It wasn't me. I swear." From inside, my older sister Mia's voice floated out. "Sweet as poison. She took everything, Mom. Look at the bank statements. $50,000 transferred from your retirement account, using Lily's login." I tried to stop her. The door opened just a crack. Mom's eyes were red and swollen. Dad wouldn't even look at me. "We need time, Lily," Mom said, her voice trembling. "Just go." The door slammed. The deadbolt clicked like a gunshot. I sank to my knees on the steps. Rain mixing with my tears. The cold seeping into my bones until I couldn't feel my fingers anymore. How could my own sister do this? Mia had always been jealous of my grades, my quiet dreams, the way our grandparents used to call me their little light. But this, framing me for stealing our family's entire savings so she could play the perfect daughter? I had nothing left. No money, no phone credit, just the clothes on my back and a heart that felt like it had been ripped out. I wandered the streets for hours, suitcase wheels catching on every crack, until a kind stranger let me crash in her garage for one night. The next weeks blurred into a nightmare shelters that smelled of bleach and despair. Odd jobs washing dishes until my hands bled. Sleeping on park benches, wrapped in a thin blanket, while the wind howled. Every night I asked the same question in the dark. Why me? What did I ever do to deserve this? One rainy evening, scrolling a free library computer, I saw the listing. Abandoned Victorian house. Tax lien auction. Starting bid $1. The photos showed peeling paint, broken windows, ivy choking the porch. It was on the outskirts of town, far from everyone who knew me. I stared at the screen until my eyes burned. It was insane. But sleeping under a bridge was insane too. With the last $200 I had scraped together from dishwashing and a tiny personal loan I'd probably never repay, I placed the bid. 24 hours later, the house was mine. For $1. The first time I pushed open the heavy front door, the smell hit me: damp wood, mold, and something older, like forgotten secrets. Dust floated in the weak sunlight, slicing through cracked windows. Floorboards groaned under my sneakers. I dropped my suitcase in the empty living room and whispered, "Home, I guess." The first week was pure survival. I patched holes in the roof with plastic sheeting I found in the attic. The rain still dripping cold onto my sleeping bag every night. I scrubbed black mold off the kitchen walls until my arms ached and the bleach burned my nose. At night, the house made sounds: creaks, whispers of wind through broken glass, sometimes a low thud upstairs that made my heart race. I told myself it was just the old bones settling, but deep down I felt watched. While ripping out rotten baseboards in the upstairs hallway to stop the drafts, my hammer hit something hollow. I pried away a loose panel. Behind it, tucked inside the wall like it had been waiting for me, was a small metal box wrapped in oilcloth. Inside were yellowed bank statements, handwritten notes, and a flash drive. The papers had dates going back 6 years. My name was on some of them, but the signatures weren't mine. Transfers from Mom and Dad's accounts. Forged checks, even loans taken out in my name I never knew about. My hands shook so badly I dropped the papers. Mia. It was all Mia. She hadn't just framed me once, she'd been draining our family slowly, quietly, for years. The notes were in her handwriting. "Lily's login works again. Keep her out of the loop." There were messages to some guy named R about splitting the next payout. I sat on the dusty floor until the sun went down, tears streaming. The house silent around me like it was holding its breath with me. Every strange noise I'd heard suddenly felt like warnings. Or maybe guidance. I kept digging. In the attic, behind a false wall I only found because I was fixing a leak, I discovered a larger envelope sealed with tape. Inside was a letter from our grandmother dead for 3 years addressed to me. "My dearest Lily, if you're reading this, then my worst fears came true. I watched Mia change. I caught her once trying to forge my signature. I bought this house years ago in secret and hid everything here, hoping you would find it one day. The will inside gives you everything I left behind. Use it. Save our family. I love you, little light. Paper clipped to the letter was Grandma's original will, leaving the house, a small trust fund, and every piece of evidence to me. She had suspected Mia all along and prepared this for the day I needed it most. My whole body went cold, then hot. The house wasn't random. Fate, or Grandma, had led me here. That same night I copied everything, heart pounding so loud I could hear it over the wind. I drove to the police station at 3 a.m., with the box and flash drive in my lap. The officer's eyes widened as I laid it all out. 2 days later, everything exploded. Mia was arrested at our parents' house while she was packing another investment scheme. The evidence was ironclad. She had scammed not only mom and dad but 3 aunts and 2 cousins over $200,000 total. She'd used my identity for half the online accounts so she could disappear and leave me holding the bag forever. The plot twist that broke me and healed me at the same time. Mia confessed in the interrogation room that she'd always hated how Grandma favored me. The framing, the theft, even pushing me out, it was all so she could finally be the only daughter left standing. Mom and Dad came to the abandoned house the day Mia was charged. They stood in the living room. I had slowly made beautiful fresh paint, new windows, the smell of fresh wood, and hope instead of mold. Mom cried harder than the night she kicked me out. Dad hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would crack. I failed you, baby, he whispered. We all did. I didn't say, I told you so. I just held them while the late afternoon light poured through clean glass, warm and golden for the first time. Today, the house is almost finished. I turned the upstairs bedroom into a little studio where I paint again, something I stopped doing the day they threw me out. The trust fund Grandma left is enough to finish college and help Mom and Dad pay back what Mia stole. Mia, she'll be gone for a long time. Sometimes at night I still hear the house creak, but now it sounds like Grandma saying, "You did good, little light." I was 21 when my sister tried to bury me. Instead, I found a house for $1, a truth that set us all free, and the strength I never knew I had. If you're out there right now, cold, scared, feeling like the world slammed the door in your face, keep walking. Your abandoned house is waiting, and sometimes the darkest walls hide the brightest light. Today, the house is almost finished. I turned the upstairs bedroom into a little studio where I paint again, something I stopped doing the day they threw me out. The trust fund Grandma left is enough to finish college and help Mom and Dad pay back what Mia stole. Mia, she'll be gone for a long time. Sometimes at night I still hear the house creak, but now it sounds like Grandma saying, "You did good, little light."